जैसे कहते हैं ना कि वो वही 8 या 9 मुद्राएं हैं, वही 8 या 9 एक्सप्रेशंस हैं. Like any corner of the world you actually go, you will find similarities in things because there are limited genres. There are only limited ways, and medium has got nothing to do with it.
Can't live. Like 2 years have been extremely difficult for most of the people. We are very privileged. It's been wonderful for us. You know what I mean? Like, not even a comparison. So I'm just thinking out loud.
Hi guys, I'm Vikrant Massey.
And I'm Radhika Apte.
And you're watching us on
PeepingMoon.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to PeepingMoon.com. I'm Rashita, Sahni, and today joining me for a super special conversation are two people who carry a very natural and effortless credibility with their names. Welcoming Radhika Apte and Vikrant Massey for their upcoming film Forensic.
Thank you.
Hi you guys, how have you been?
We have been good.
Very well, thank you.
Very energetically promoting the film. I just saw a couple of interviews sitting there.
Yeah.
But you know, as I mentioned in my intro, I have to ask this to you. Very fewer times do we come to see two actors of this credibility that they have attached with their name. Like, I know if I read your name or your name in the casting of some project, I know it's going to be good. It will have something. How do you take it as?
So I'm flattered. Thank you. And hope we keep up to those expectations. I mean, I hope we fulfill them.
I'm sure you will. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's the same. It kind of feels, of course it's very flattering, but yeah, there is a sense of responsibility, and the larger idea is always to be worth those expectations.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also with Forensic, what I felt, with web, we were seeing back-to-back content, but some of it was getting a little similar. Like, we were seeing too many murder mysteries or too many things that were thrillers in the same genre as well. Now, this comes across as a film that's a little different. I saw the promo of it and I was like, okay, finally we are seeing something that's not very commonly done. And the actors also, everyone who's in it, the director, everyone, it just feels like a right fit. What do you think about it? Because sometimes it just becomes repetitive when it comes to the web space. Do you feel that way?
I mean, I think that web space. Don't get me wrong. I think I love OTT platforms.
Yeah,
I love them. But because it's so easily available, we watch a lot.
Yes.
Like, we watch constantly.
We do.
So is it? I mean, it's repetitive because we're consuming at a speed of, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I know.
So that's why I think it gets repetitive, but yeah, I don't know. It's a whodunit, yeah. I mean, if you take any whodunit, it has the same structure. So now I don't know how to say it's repetitive or not. I can tell you that the twists and turns of this film are something that I've not read before or seen before. So that way, it's not. It's it's very different. It's just the setting is different. The director has with fresh eyes and absolute a lover of horror genre and thriller genre, and so.
Okay, got it. And Vikrant, what do you want to say about this?
Yeah, I absolutely second Radhika when she says this thing. Also, our consumption patterns have changed.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, more than 80-85% of online content is consumed on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
So our consumption patterns have changed, and because there is so much of content available today, as she said, we are watching a lot more because we have a lot more to see. So because there is so much of content, and most content that you see online, it's universal in nature. For example, if we've made Forensic, it's going to cater to more than 190 countries at one go.
Exactly, yeah.
और वो जो structure है, वो more or less it remains the same. The narrative structure remains the same because there is a structure that as a writer you follow. Genre specific, there are structures. So more or less you will find a lot of similarities in structure, but the execution of it is where most people want to do different things, keeping the fact that the structure of a horror film is going to be similar, or a particular, they want to induce a certain kind of response in you in a horror film. So they will try to scare you, but the execution of it is going to be key, you know. So there are, as she said, for Vishal, you know, he's come with a fresh perspective, a very fresh eye.
Yeah.
And it's an adaptation of a film which is fairly done very successfully well down south. So it's more or less, you can say, because it's a whodunit, like she said, yeah, more or less the structure remains the same, but the execution is very different.
Yeah. Also talking about this web versus Bollywood debate which was happening before, and now I am seeing it's coexisting so beautifully. So I remember I went for the screening of Major, and I missed a scene. So I was just looking here and there, and I wanted to go back. So my hand instantly went there. I thought my laptop is there, and I'll just rewind it. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm at a theater. So we have become so used to watching things on web, but that doesn't mean we won't enjoy and go out to big screen experiences. Of course, big screen. What do you feel about it? Because whenever a new platform comes, suddenly this debate starts that the older one is no longer going to be there.
I think it's futile, you know. I really don't think there's any reason. There's no point, and you will never come across a conclusion in this thing. I think all of us, by the end of it, and it's actually not the people within who are sort of dichotomizing it or characterizing it the way it is in the public domain. It's actually people who have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
If your source is Twitter,
correct,
I think it's the people who have nothing to do with it, who are probably wanting those hashtags to trend, or it's a communication which is done by people who are not a part of that.
Majority of them
circle.
are faceless, nameless. We don't even know them. Yeah.
So it's futile, because I think all of us are coexisting so beautifully. You know, some of the biggest Bollywood stars are also on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And like television today, streaming platforms are almost like a door-to-door medium. And we are all coexisting beautifully. You know.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so if there is a movie coming out in a theater, yes, community viewing is an experience which will always be a part of our staple life, for Indians especially. And down south, you know, it's almost euphoric down there. So the producers and the producers also selling satellite rights to television, but the producers also selling online rights to a streaming platform. So we are all coexisting beautifully together.
Agreed completely. Radhika, as someone who has worked across platforms, what is your point of view on this?
If I like the job, I do it.
Do it, yeah.
I don't care whether it's on OTT or theatre, really. And in fact, I feel that whatever works best for the financier, that's what they should do. Yeah. I really feel that it's a lot of money that goes in, a lot of effort that goes in. So whatever is better. But I have no such this thing. I go to the theatre to watch, and I watch it at home also.
Fair enough.
So I do both.
Agreed. And your roles in forensic, while watching only the trailer and the teaser, they look very emotionally heavy and challenging. I don't know how you guys did it, because it was you were talking about being effortless and all of that. It actually looks like two actors have come who are doing it like there are no cameras around. They're just doing their jobs, and it's not even like we can't even feel like they're acting. So how did you manage to do it, and did it take like an emotional toll on your mental health or something?
They're not happy. She's definitely not a happy person.
Okay.
In the film.
Okay.
In the sense that it is a heavy, sort of heavy, in the sense that she's heavily sort of taking the weight of something, clearly. But I mean, I don't know. I find those parts sometimes easier to do, because there's a clear-cut motive and intention and want and desire, and it's, and what's interesting was that she's quite ambiguous and unreasonable, can be in her personal life, but very moral and righteous in her professional life. So that contrast was a very interesting element of the character.
Okay. Vikrant, what about you?
Yeah, as she rightly said, it's kind of, the world of crime itself is almost unnerving. It's not a pleasant feeling. And I play a forensic officer in this film who's working in tandem with her on the cases that we'll see in the film. And of course, these two characters have a backstory too. So simultaneously, there are two things happening. We are solving cases at the same time. We are also wanting to solve our own case. Things that are left unattended. And I this one fortunately didn't take any toll on my mental health, like the couple of previous films that I've done. But it was challenging because here I am representing a community which has actually not been recognized as much as they should be,
Yeah.
which is, you know, the forensic department.
Correct.
They are absolutely essential with regards to assisting any agency, or probably even helping in cracking a crime. And we've seen movies about police officers,
Yeah.
we've seen about, you know, lawyers, we've seen doctors, but we've actually never seen something on forensic officers who are
Exactly.
so important in solving a particular crime or even aiding or assisting.
Yeah.
And the idea was to, you know, the larger idea somewhere down the line subliminally is to pay tribute to the amount of hard work that they do, and the kind of contribution that they, the kind of recognition that they deserve is unfortunately not present at the moment. So that is where the challenge actually was for me, for my character, to go out there and represent a community which everyone knows is existent but not given its due share. So the technical intricacies of it, you know, the idea to get it just right, you know, वो film के लिए liberty ले लेते हैं, वो हमने नहीं
Correct.
किया है, and that was challenging for me.
Also with thrillers, sometimes what happens, I'll just give you a quick example. I watched this thriller, big banner, big actor. It came on web. It was a show. And after watching the first episode, I was like, I know he's the culprit. And in my mind, I'm just, for the 6 episodes, I'm thinking, if I am right, I am going to be so upset about wasting so much time of mine. And I was right. And I was like, what did they do? Why did they do this? Do they think we are so stupid? So these things started coming in my mind, and now we are of course discussing things like audiences are not stupid anymore. They used to be not stupid, but yeah, they used to be a little less understanding before, earlier, but now they are not. How do you see forensic as a thriller? Will we, will we be at the edge of our seats throughout?
I don't think you'll guess the killer.
Thank God.
I personally don't think you'll guess
Yeah.
it. Like, I genuinely, and I would say that, no, but I don't think you'll guess it. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hope you won't guess the killer. I really do hope you
I
won't.
don't think they will, yeah.
More or less,
Pretty,
but
yeah.
maybe I'm kind of
That's a
overcritical.
Okay.
So I hope they won't. But you know, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि वो वही 8 या 9 मुद्राएं हैं, वही 8 या 9 expressions हैं.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like any corner of the world you actually go, you will find similarities in things because there are limited genres. There are only limited ways, and medium has got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, irrespective of the medium, storytelling has world across. Like even if you pick up history, you'll see there are certain set structures. You know, for
Correct.
example, there is a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't follow that 3-act structure. Those films were called as alternative narratives. So more or less, it's the same structure pattern that you follow, but the idea is the execution, as I said. The execution is what matters today. But I absolutely agree with you with regards to the audiences being a little more involved today, because you and I have international content at the click of our button today.
Exactly. Yeah.
The kind of cinema that is available world across is available to you and me. So it is about time that we actually pull up our socks here in India, and we've done that fairly well.
Yeah.
You know, in the last 10-15 years, I think a lot of people have contributed in making our cinema world class, or probably at par with world cinema. Is because there are multiple heads, multiple people who really come around the fact that we really need to make intelligent cinema.
Yeah.
We really do not need to consider our audiences dumb, as
Exactly,
generally, unfortunately,
yeah.
people use this on a larger scale.
Yeah.
कि अरे audiences are dumb, यार, उनको पता नहीं
yeah.
चलेगा. That's not the case. Today we have access to international cinema at the click of a button, and that has probably somewhere down the line made us pull up our socks and, you know, cater to the audiences with a little more respect and a little more dignity, treating them as an equal today. And it's there for people to see. I think the last few years, especially post-COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID era, we'll see, we have seen it. It's there for us to see.
Completely agreed to that as well. What is also very funny these days is that this debate, South versus Bollywood, that's happening now. Forensic itself is a Hindi remake of a Malayalam film. Now, how do you take it as, because suddenly all these people from Bollywood or otherwise are coming forward and justifying why South films are working. They are not ready to accept that they are working because the content is good and the audiences are watching. They're saying this great, that their scale is grand, or the actors are big, the
The
directors are
cinema
big.
culture is very different. You know, she's
Correct.
been a part of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
world. You know, I haven't done a lot of work down south. Sorry
Yeah.
to cut you.
No
But
worries.
cinema culture there and
Correct.
cinema culture here,
Yeah.
to what it is even further up north, like say Punjabi industry,
Haan,
if you
haan.
talk about,
Correct.
they are poles apart.
Yeah.
You know, they're
they
poles
are.
apart. And I said it before, I think the ones who are actually raking up this issue are not a part of the film industry.
Yeah.
Majority of the ones.
Right now they are. Like, I am seeing some actors also coming forward from Bollywood, from the South industry, and actually having a debate on Twitter on हमारी राष्ट्र भाषा क्या है and all of that.
But hey, can I ask you something? I mean, I didn't know about this debate, by the way.
Okay.
I found out today
Oh,
with
yeah.
the.
Okay.
I don't read anything.
Yeah, you are very lucky.
I don't.
Our job
I
is
mean,
that.
Yeah, your job is that. Yeah,
Yeah.
true. So I didn't know about it. But now that you're saying, I'm just thinking out loud. Huh? Sorry, you can cut this off if you
No
think.
problem.
But I haven't seen the KGF,
Yeah,
RRR,
yeah.
and all of that. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Them. But I'm wondering, there are all these larger than life hero worship films, right? I'm just wondering, during pandemic, there were times when one would want to watch a certain kind of films.
Exactly.
Like, I wanted to watch something nice. I wanted to watch heartwarming things because so many people were just dying, right? Or didn't want to watch violence. So in a similar way, I'm wondering, after coming from that 2 years of a very weird time, do people want to watch these larger than life
they do.
films? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just wondering why suddenly.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like,
Maybe that
it could
be
be
true.
one of the things, right?
Correct,
Like, I
yeah.
just suddenly thought. So it's
That's
nothing
a
to do
very
with
fair
your.
thought. I think someone somewhere down the line might be thinking, or probably, you know, researching on this thing. It's fairly
Because
true.
why do people go to the theatre in India for entertainment?
Yeah.
Purely, like most of them. I'm not talking about majority of people go for not to admire cinema. They go for
Exactly.
entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah.
Right. So what are they looking for? They're looking for to be removed from their lives.
Yeah.
That's the idea of why
Correct.
they go to the theatres here. So this is like the ultimate. It's not like, oh, let's relate. It's not relatable to your own personal betrayal of something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's a
or
very
trauma.
fair point.
Yeah,
to actually momentarily, even though momentarily,
Momentarily.
live a life which you know in your own life you actually
You
can't live.
can't live. Like, 2 years have been extremely difficult for most of the people. We are very
Definitely,
privileged.
yeah.
It's been wonderful for us. You know what I mean? Like, not even a comparison. So I'm just thinking out loud.
No, it's
Yeah.
actually a very
It's a
valid point,
valid
and I didn't think it that way before you said that. Agreed. So, but thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
beautiful conversation.
Thank
Too
you.
many
It's always
nice
a pleasure,
insights.
pleasure talking to you.
Same here, same here. All the very best
Thank
for
you.
Forensic. I'm
Thank
sure it's
you.
going to do like great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.